Hi, Grace Church. Today is Good Friday or Longfredag. Today is the day we remember the death of Jesus. And I just want to focus on one of his words on the cross. We've been going through Luke's Gospel. And so in Luke 23, verse 34, he says, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Father, forgive them. And forgiveness is absolutely crucial to understanding what the cross is all about. People sometimes wonder, why did Jesus have to die? So why couldn't God just forgive us? Why did anyone have to die for God to forgive us? But forgiveness always involves a debt being paid by somebody. So let's say I crash into someone in a car and damage their car. That person can make me pay for it. Or if there's insurance, then the insurance pays for it. Or they can say, don't worry, I'll cover it. And they absorb the cost for it. They pay for it. Somebody pays for that to be fixed. Not everything, of course, is economic. But if someone hurts you and someone offends you deeply, then you have the option of trying to make them pay. You have to try, you think of ways to which you can get your own back or make them feel the depth of the hurt that you are feeling. Or to forgiveness, you absorb that. You refuse to let them feel that, and you absorb that, and you take it on, and that's a suffering to absorb that. And so forgiveness is always costly. But also there's a penalty to sin, and there's something that we need to see, the ugliness of sin. And on the cross, Jesus puts himself in our place. It's John. I talked yesterday about the temptation in prayer that if we don't pray, we end up making it about our will rather than the Lord's will. And there's an exchange here. It's about what God wills. And John Stott writes, "The essence of sin is that we human beings substitute ourselves for God, while the essence of salvation is God substituting himself for us. We put ourselves where only God deserves to be, but God puts himself where we deserve to be." And that's what happened on the cross. And that's the forgiveness that we find, that Jesus puts himself where we deserve to be. We deserve the punishment that sin deserves, because it's ugly, because it's cruel, because it's harsh, because it destroys, because it breaks. Sin is ugly in every way, whether it's small sin or large sins. The consequences are just usually different, but the ugliness is the same. Whereas here we see Christ stepping onto the cross, saying, I will go where they deserve to be, so that the sin that they have can be put on my shoulders. And Lord, they don't always know what they're doing. They don't understand. Yet it's still the same. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. And we don't always know, but now we do know that Christ knew what he was doing. He put himself where we deserve to be, because we've too often put ourselves where God deserves to be. Today, we celebrate the fact that Christ has won our forgiveness. It's a finished work. It's accomplished. Restoration is complete. The work of new creation has begun and is underway. But we celebrate the fact and rejoice in the fact. Serious, it's sobering, but it's also glorious. The truth that we are forgiven because Jesus died on the cross. If you can, join us later at 4 o'clock for some further reflections on Jesus' death on the cross for us.